All right, welcome to this video. Today is a really important video because I will teach you how to go from level 0 in life to level 1. Let me explain what level 0 is and what level 1 is so that you can clearly see if it makes sense for you or not to listen to this video. Level 0 is where most people are. Most people are in level 0 where they have a job that they don't like, they aren't strong, they don't have a good mindset. They feel like they have some kind of potential. Some of them don't even know they have a potential. They just live like robots, essentially. And they get stuck here. Most people get stuck there for most of their lives. They do not make their lives count, which, if you ask me, is really, really bad. Look, life is a gift. Why would you waste your life? It doesn't make any sense to me. It has never made any sense. And I'm pretty confident it will never make sense to me. Then you have level 1. Be careful. Level 1 is not level 10, right? Level 1 is not making, millions and millions of dollars or euros or pounds every month. Level 1 is location freedom. You can live wherever you want. You can work wherever you want. You like what you do. You like the way that you make money, that you make a living. You are of value, okay? Financial freedom. You don't make millions, but you do make multi-six figures a year, which is more than enough to live wherever you want and in the way that you want, okay? And well, mostly now at level 1, you understand that you have a potential and you are working towards, living up to that potential. So I have been able to achieve level 1, right? So for the past 4 years, I've been in business, and last year alone made multi-six figures. Most people that you will hear from people that talk to me about that, they are actually fakes. They do not make millions. They teach you how to make this cash, but they don't make millions. They aren't as free as they claim to be. They become free by teaching others how to become free, but in the first place, they weren't free. So I'm the real deal here, okay? Again, I'm not claiming I made millions. No, I did make multi-six figures. And I will teach you today how to go from level 0 to level 1, right? So if that sounds interesting, stay, because this is gonna be really, really valuable content. But before, a word from our sponsors. No, it's a joke. This is a really big bottle of water, but I'm really thirsty. All right, gents. So what is the very first principle that will help you to go to level 1? Well, the very first principle here is what we all call the gym. You want to go to the gym, okay? People in level 0 that will start to go to the gym will have a super high chance to understand their potential and then go to level 1. Okay? Why? Let me explain you why. Because once you go to the gym, you start understanding that every single session you become stronger. You do one more rep. As long as you eat well, you train well, you sleep well, those basic principles, the 3 main pillars, you will become stronger. You will become better. And it actually shifts your mindset once you realize that. So it is super, super crucial for you to get your ass to the gym and start working out. Okay, this is the very first pillar. And before going over the next pillar, I want to explain to you the way it helped me personally. So when I was like 15 or 16, I started to go to the gym, and I was still in high school. And I remember that when I started to go to the gym, the weights felt super, it was super hard, basically, to lift those weights. I was super skinny. I was maybe 50 or 60 kgs. But I kept going at it. And slowly but surely, I became better to the point where after a couple of months, or maybe even weeks, some ladies in my class used to tell me, wow, damn, you have like bigger arms. Like you actually look better now. And at this moment, I realized the power. I was like, wow, is it that easy to actually build muscle? Just need to go to the gym and freaking lift some weights like that. Crazy. So I started to, get way more like more and more knowledgeable when it comes to the way to train, the way to eat, the way to to sleep, specific hours and so on, hormones, optimizations, and those were subjects that I could see would noticeably make my life better, and I would feel more confident, more competent. On one end, I was doing this in my life. I was 15 or 16. On the other hand, I was going to high school and I was getting taught by bums. All the professors, if you are looking at me right now, my gosh. I remember one professor used to ask all the students, okay, so do you have a dream? What's your dream? How do you believe that you can make money in society? You know, it was like a philosophical question that this professor was asking to the classroom. And I raised my hand because at this time I started to read some self-help books and business books and so on. And I told this teacher in front of the classroom, I said, you make the most amount of money when you create the most amount of value. So the best way to make money is to actually just provide as much value as possible to the people, and then money will, to some degree, come in a way. And I remember this professor, when I said this, when she heard it, she looked at me. She looked at me and she said, oh, Kilian, well, good luck then. Have a good luck in your life, Kilian, if this is the way you think. And I thought, what the hell, bro? This lady, 60-year-old lady, man. No, she doesn't believe. And couple years later, I became a professional plane pilot. And again, a couple years later, I'm now a business owner, and I can live from it, from anywhere I want. And I have skills that no one will ever be able to take from me. So this shows that the mindsets that they teach you at school is completely obsolete. It just doesn't work. And for me, going to the gym and then after that starting to read some books, get to know how the other side of the world is thinking, the successful side of the world is thinking. It all just shifted my mindset, all right? So this is the very first thing, I believe, the one thing that helped me go from level 0 to level 1 at first was the gym. Second was books. Now, look, I know that a lot of business guys do not recommend to read books. I do recommend to read books at first, at the beginning. I think it's always better to read books than to consume content, on YouTube or Instagram. Because books also train your attention. So it makes you better, really. But I think that it's the most crucial to read books when you actually start in business or in your self-help journey, because I remember the first few books I read, it was completely shifting my mind like crazy. Now, a little bit less. Maybe I don't read the right books, I'm not sure, but I can just talk about experience. I'm a super fucking honest guy here in this video. The way that books have trained my mind the most and helped me the most was at the beginning of my journey. So the first book I read was, I will actually note it here. Oh man. I'm writing like a 6-year-old, but bear with me. I really don't give a fuck, to be honest. Look, this is the first book here. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink is an ex-Navy SEAL. You might or might not know him. Extreme Ownership from Jocko Willink. Amazing book. And if I can give you a summary in one sentence or a couple sentences of this book, it's about taking ownership for everything in your life. Okay, so if you have an issue in your life, it's your fault. If your family has an issue, it's your fault. Everything is your fault. Everything is your fault. Nothing is not your fault. Everything is your fault. And it sounds pretty extreme, but it's actually not extreme at all. I mean, if you're a man, if you're a living being right now, why wouldn't you take ownership? What do you want? You want other people to take ownership for you? It's just this is the worst thing I've heard in my life, man. Don't do this. Take ownership. Take extreme ownership. The first book I read, it was in French actually. Responsabilité absolue in French, if you want to learn some French. And yeah, this is the first book that actually changed my mind. Then I read, I think, a book that's here somewhere, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So this book is about, it's a super old book actually from the 90s somewhere. And How to Win Friends and Influence People is about being good socially, you know, understanding what makes other people tick and how to bring value in conversations and so on, how to make people feel good as well. Look, humans are social animals, so if you do not want to learn the game, if you don't want to learn the rules of the game, of the social game, then you're going to be left out and you won't be able to actually win in this life. Another book I read is Unleash the Power Within, I guess, from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is a businessman. You know, he's a billionaire, super good at what he does. And he created those books, a series of books on mindset. And I think this is the one book that actually has influenced me the most. Probably top 5 books I read ever. So yeah, go ahead and read those books. I would recommend Extreme Ownership, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Damn, there's an insect there. Not sure if you guys can see it. Anyways. And the third book that I recommend is Unleash the Power Within from Tony Robbins. Wait a second. The second book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is from Dale Carnegie. Okay? Really good book. Cool. So, step 1, to go from level 0 to level 1, gym. Step 2, books. Now, step 3, ladies and gents, is what I will call network. Look, what I did myself is I went to the gym, I did read those books, I didn't have network when I started in business. Oh boy, I wish I had this network. I didn't have it at the time. And it also took a little bit of a mindset shift for me to be able to reach out for help, you know, and network. So this is a mindset shift that happened after the gym, for example, and after reading books and after also growing up because I was quite young. But I know for a fact if I did network earlier, I would have been more successful way faster. So the reason why is because you probably heard this saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. So, well, you want to have good people around you as fast as possible. Nowadays, we have stuff that I didn't have back then. We have school, we have communities, we have, you know, Instagram. You can find like-minded people. You can find people that are above you, that are willing to help you super, you know, easily. So if you can have this network, those people you will meet, they will tell you how to go from level 0 to level 1 and the exact steps that you can just implement right away, super easily. Instead of you trying to figure out everything from the get-go. The moment I have leveled up the most in business so far were the moment I invested in networking or in courses, right? Because they just gave a playbook that I just had to implement and then I could see if it would work or not for me. But along the way, I would learn tremendously. So this is something that I'm actually providing also, okay? I don't want this to be a plug. If you don't want to, you know, go ahead and join my network, you don't need to. I'm gonna provide some value anyways to this YouTube channel. But if you want some kind of one-on-one or you wanna enter a network of like-minded people, guys in business, young, ambitious, that are making cash and are taking their lives quite seriously because we can have an impact here, okay, for our legacy, our generation, then feel free to join the network. And as of now, there are some spaces left. So gym, books, network, and well, ultimately, what you want here is focus. Okay, so you want to have a plan. You go to the gym, okay? You have a plan, you need to focus to go there and be consistent with it. Books, set yourself a daily number of pages. For me, it was usually something like 10 to 20 pages, let's say, a day. So sometimes it takes 15 minutes, sometimes it takes half an hour, it depends on the book, depends on the length, etc. But you need to have those daily routines that you will focus on. And well, networking, you wanna find a network, you wanna find some courses, or if not, you can also just find the right YouTube channels or the right, I don't know, content creators that are willing, just like me, to share all this stuff for free. And if you focus on all of those, I can promise you that you will be able to get good. So I don't talk about mindset that much here. And the reason for that, oh, there's the bro. Come on, bro. Guys, quick stop. I'm gonna present my bro to the video. Oh, did you hear it?
Hello, everybody.
By the way, he just went to the gym. Look at this. Gym. He respects the hustle. He didn't even know I would create a video, but there you go.
Plan.
Yeah, I was talking about how to go from level 0 to level 1. Okay, and about my own life. The way I went to level 1 was the gym, and then books, and then networking, or like courses to make me, level up. So, anyways, it's the end of the video. I will just finish it quickly, and then we can do something. I don't know. Maybe go to the gym again.
Drink coffee.
Tons
of coffee.
All right. We need to focus now.
Yeah.
So yeah, boys. I didn't talk about mindset because mindset comes from the books. I got my mindset from the books and from the gym as well. So don't focus too much on anything else. And remember that I think that those steps here will take maybe 2-3 months. Go to the gym, read books, a couple months it will take you, and then you will feel this upward spiral that will just make you want to do some shit. You will want to create a business. You want to do some shit. You might have a little bit of some disagreements with the people around you, with your family. Because when your mindset will shift, people will realize and they will think that you are completely crazy. People around us, man, do you remember? People around us, man, they always thought we were crazy as fuck. Honestly. True, right? Man, it's so... But just remember, you are not crazy. Just like I'm not and he's not. Or maybe we are crazy enough to make shit happen, but in this case, if we drive innovation and we actually, do good for humanity, man, or we do our best, I don't think we are the craziest ones. We might be the minority, but we aren't the craziest ones. So that's about it for this video. I have a couple other insights I can share with you next time, but I did want to share with you those like high-level insights because if you don't know where to go right now, man, just create a plan for the gym, read books, find a way to network, and in a couple of months from now, you will already go to some kind of next level. It was Kilian. I see you in the next video.